Today I will going to talk about my assignment one in the first line in my assignment one. In first line I will talk about something I think is important in my assignment. Uh, in assignment I think is the introduction of web technology is very important. In in the introduction, we are talk about the define the web and the history of web and how the web work. As next, this is a don't name system, and then is we are the explanation of web environment. Next is the evaluate about the argument with regard to functionality and management. And next is a review in influence, search energy, and continue is a website technological and next is the online question tools and curtain build. We have a table to compare to the online question tool with curtain builds. And next is a evaluate the regards of tool and technological available to design and development of curtain build website. And the last, I think, is a reasonable discussion regard to chosen topic. Next line we are, like I say above, we are talk about define the website. Uh, when I know when I know that a website is a series of web page and related material that is a specific and domain name and define and is hosted on at least on web server. Continue, we are talk about a brief history of web. A team value or the business sig- um, team basically a British scientist invited the World Wide Web or as known as the WW in 1989 while working at CERN in Geneva and Switzerland, and team eventually invited a method of negotiating between five based on use hyperlink framework, hypertext mascot language, and web browser and web server. In March 1989, Tim Bentley were the first proposal for the World Wide Web, and in November and 1990, World Wide Web were the format line were the formatted at the management proposal and with the help of the Belgian system engineer Robert. By the end of the 1990, Team Bentley had the first World Wide Web server and a browser up and the rating in the CERN. Left side, we have the diagram how to web works. When I see in the diagram, I can see I can see the something I am about in my mind something very basic about how to web work. When we have client computer and server computer. You know, client computer. This is a jar computer that everybody use in their daily. And when you click on the hyperlink or typing URL into the browser, start and request repose the client and in the in regressive sky including multi-step site web the page often contain the embedded files such as graphics which are requiring and separate and respond. In next slide, we are talk about something. Continue talk about how the web work. You know, the URL get the restored thanks to the DNS server and challenging the domain to its IP address and send it to the server, and on the server with the IP address restored, the browser go ahead and make a request to the server with that ID address. The data is sent via the hypertext transferable locker as well as the HTTP sender who process the format in the standardized, and the browser based that in a standardization efforts by HTTP to check the data and metadata that encodes to response, and beyond that it's a device what to do. In slide 9, we are talking about the domain system or DNS. Domain system as well as DNS, that is next slide, we are talking about the domain system DNS. You know, domain system or as known as DNS, that is basically a system help in converting from the domain's name, which people remember easily, to corresponding physical ID address that domain. DNS help link with the network equipment for purpose non-coding and addressing device on the internet. The DNS function as the channel and information transmitter. For example, convert a domain name that either HTTPS dictionary and Cambridge RIG to the corresponding physical IP address that either 123.11.5 and 0.19. DNS is important part of internet. It is a secret in the converting all the requests into IP address, and then I can recognize different devices that are linked to the network. And next slide, we have there are 4 types of DNS, and one is the DNS retrieval restore and DNS root name server, DLD name server, alternative name server. Now we are talking about the DNS request restorer. A request restorer as known as the DNS the requester is the first stop in the DNS query, and the request and restore act as a midman between the client and the DNS name server. During the process, the request responds with the information received from the alternatively name server. We are continuing with the other type of DNS, DNS root name server. There are 13 DNS root name servers that know to every request restore, and the first stop in the request response request for the DNS records. A root name server accepts a recursive restore query including a domain name, and the root name server responds by the directing and recursive restore to a DLD and name server based on the extension of that domain. For example, is a .crm and .net.